the last game, I was stuck in this bathhouse for an inordinate amount of time. And, I'm trying to remember where we were. Oh, we have the, we did this, thing with the formula. We know the chemicals that were used to make the photograph of it, which is interesting. Let's go to, let's see if we can wrap up. Maybe we can wrap up this loose end. He's not good either.
Where is the ring lately purchased by and for your fiancée?
I will not redeem whatever scurrilous information you have extracted from her jeweler, Mr. Holmes.
Would it surprise you to learn that I found the ring in the possession of a deceased prostitute? I'm sure it would surprise Lady Lockridge.
Are you a blackmailer as well as a busybody? What compels you to harass me in this nefarious manner?
The truth compels me. Tell it, and I may set you free.
Ha! Your precious truth means ruination. Will you return the ring?
I don't think now would be a good time. This ring is part of an evidentiary chain linking numerous crimes. How did it come to be in her possession?
I'm sure I don't know. It must have been stolen from this room.
I'm not done asking you questions, buddy.
What has become of the engagement portrait of you and Lady Cordelia?
That's none of your business, Mr. Holmes. If there is nothing else, I'm rather pressed for time.
Time will press you soon enough.
Time will press you soon enough.
There is a picture missing from your photo album. Who is the subject?
I have nothing to say on that topic except that you appear to have taken extraordinary liberties in my home.
Something was stolen from your home, and you have nothing to say? The police will certainly feel differently.
No, this is not a police matter.
When is theft of private property not a police matter?
The item was precious only as a memento of a service I rendered. It can be of no possible value to anyone else.
I think you know that's a lie. It has already purchased your silence. Lawton, I can see that you are hard-pressed. Let me help.
Protecting an innocent's reputation is a sacred trust.
That's as may be, but theft, murder, and extortion surround you. I know, as a penguin knows ice, that you have knowledge of one or more of these crimes. Give me the facts.
I have done nothing sordid nor patently criminal. Call in the police if you must, but they will get nothing from me. It is a question of honor.
Honor? I'm surprised you don't choke on the word. When you quashed the inquiry, you were certain that your committee was investigating a real theft. What did they threaten you with? What do you hold so precious that you would jeopardize the security of your country?
It is simple to revile what you don't understand. If I must pay for an error of judgment, so be it. I will accept the consequences.
That was not your decision to make. My brother has already paid. You offer a self-serving admission of indiscretion and still speak of honor? I would throttle you myself if I could spare the energy. You, sir, are despicable. Watson, I beg you to restrain me. I'm ready to commit mayhem.
Jenkins, see Mr. Holmes out.
Hey, Dark-haired Gonzo. This game does have pretty decent graphics. Alright, I got thrown out of there. Alright, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. I'm playing this game, this amazing game. I love this game. So Lord Lawton, I think he's got somebody blackmailing him too. So blackmailing him. Yeah, I'm keeping these notes. So on this game, it's pretty intense. I've got some pretty intense notes. Someone blackmailing him. City's protecting an innocent. That's what he said to me. So that's interesting. I suspect him of essentially doing it. Well, I'm being safe more than anything. So that I have information. I have a journal that I can pretty much pull any dialogue that I need. I want to talk to what's on my list of stuff to do? I still need to talk to Bledsoe. We examined the document that we took. We already have done that. Did we not? I'm pretty sure we did. I seem to recall doing that. So we've done that. We need to talk to Bledsoe. I thought it was going to happen. Maybe let's see if there's anything at his.
He may be engaged. I haven't even announced you. Were you raised by wolves? I can't approve.
Good day, gentlemen. What a pleasant surprise.
Okay, we've already done this. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna go back here. I want to make sure that I did what I said I was gonna do over here. I think I already examined the photograph, but I mistakenly didn't write it down. Let's see what we got over here. Okay, let's see if I can use. No, that's inventory. We got this. Whoops. No, I wanted to analyze it. Analyze using the lab table. Oh. Okay, so I've already done that. This is probably one of the most intense adventure games I've probably ever played, as far as just the sheer amount of twists, turns, and information in the game. This is my 8th day playing the game, so it is taking me quite a long time. It is a very deep game. So here's my journal. Here's the Watson's journal. So man, what am I supposed to do now? I want to talk to Bledsoe, but I don't know. He was supposed to. I'm supposed to get word about him.
It's time we made a move, Watson.
Carry on, Holmes. I'll
I
follow
thought-
your lead.
And I haven't gotten word yet. All right. Let's see what we can do here. Does Wiggins have anything?
I pitched a fair halfpenny in my day. Like to try me?
Why not? I've got no pressing appointments.
Holmes, have you lost your mind? You're in the midst of an investigation.
A diversion will refresh me, Doctor.
Wait, what's happening?
Keep the penny for luck, my boy.
Is there anything you're not good at?
Personal relations have never been a strong point, and Greek irregular verbs.
And modesty is often in fairly short supply.
Maybe he's got something to say. Nope. Nothing there. Nothing there. I'm gonna talk to him again. It's the only thing I can think of doing.
Engaged. I haven't even announced you. Were you raised by wolves? I can't approve impositions on me.
Good
Oh,
day,
that's-
gentlemen.
Oh, that's the
I assume that I know your methods, Holmes.
Oh, do we have to do this again? I think maybe there were some issues doing. Maybe I did this earlier than expected in the game or something, and I have to do it again. I don't know. Let's just try it again. For a man who does very little work, Farthington's calendar is remarkably filled. Many of the appointments are luncheon dates. Earlier today, Farthington penned an entry
Asking
PB
you to
chat.
keep your eyes to yourself.
Let's talk to him. I've already done this, so... I guess maybe I missed it. Maybe I missed my my appointment or something like that. No.
Your clerk's demeanor in this inconstant world, I find comfort in his predictable impudence.
Small comfort, I should think.
At my age, Doctor, small comforts are all a wise man should expect. Speaking of which, I'm sorry for your brother's accident, Holmes.
Okay, that's all I can say. All right, exit. Yeah, I have a lot of locations. I mean, we're in London, so it is very big. Locations don't disappear once you don't need them. He's supposed to send word about, like, meeting up with Bledsoe, and that's, like, the one thing I need to do. And I'm annoyed that I haven't gotten anything yet. Okay. I'm gonna go... This is... You know, I don't know
Let us
if
resume our investigation, Watson.
I'm prepared to follow you anywhere, Holmes.
I don't know if it was a DOS game or a Windows game, but I think it was a DOS game. It was around that time of transition between Windows and DOS games. So, alright, so nothing's happening here. So the one thing... See if I can do anything here. I still haven't done anything here. So... Strings of colored beads hang from the doorway that leads to another room. The arid odor of burning opium wafts through the opening. If Watson had his way, the adjacent wall would wear the inscription Dante affixed to the portals of hell. Abandon all hope, ye who enter here. Okay. Alright. Nice. The tattooed and gaudily scarred barman dominates the house with unqualified authority. Anyone with eyes can apprehend that should push come to shove, he is of that dangerous breed who believe they have nothing to lose. He sharpens a wicked blade on a stone just to make the point. Was that a pun?
Take a hike.
Posters. We got some posters. A few colorful, if dated, music hall posters are tacked on the walls. The singers Albert Chevalier, Marie Lloyd, and Lottie Collins are among the celebrated. Had they been asked, they might have declined the honor. Okay.
Shovel.
May I purchase a packet of matches for my pipe?
Matches is gratis for my customers and back. Smoking tobacco is a filthy habit. I sell alcohol here. If you don't want to drink, take a hike.
I smell something strange. Perhaps I'll just walk back there.
And I'll tear you a new ear hole. Entrance is by special permit only. You ain't welcome. Seamen, sailors and their friends. That's who I cater to.
Whoops, I didn't mean to look. Already looked.
Did you know Thomas Pratt?
Not by name. Who sent you?
Nobody sent us.
I don't want nobody here that nobody sent. Damnation, blast and bloody hell. Nosy persons give me ulcers. Damned if they don't.
I could ask the authorities to take an interest in your establishment.
Wait till Tuesday. The number 3 from the Scotland Yard is here with his secretary. Never misses. Now take a hike before you hurt yourself.
That's interesting. Blue macaw, the alien ambience. The species' reputation for viciousness is suitably matched by his multilingual, raucous speech. He rails continuously in obvious imitation of the sinkhole's patrons. Let's see.
The macaw is surprisingly accomplished. They're usually less verbal than African greys.
Phew, his vocabulary would cause a libertine to blush.
He's a mimic, not a moralist.
Given this unwholesome venue, I'm not surprised he's capable of vulgarity in multiple languages.
His training, though limited, may be instructive.
Damnation, blast, and bloody hell! Shovel!
That's funny.
Have we seen the landlord before, Watson? Is he not like the Lascar from the Bar of Gold?
Lasker, the German chess prodigy?
Please attend, Doctor. Does the proprietor remind you of the Lascar from the Bar of Gold?
That unsavory boor was brown by nature rather than exposure. But I do suggest we give him a similarly wide berth. This chap looks positively hazardous.
Agreed. And we have not impressed him. I remarked a distinct lack of quivering with fear in the face of respectability. What about a drink, Watson, to gain the barman's confidence?
I'm sure you've appreciated my nearly unqualified acquiescence over the years. You'd concede that I've almost always supported your proposals unstintingly.
Rightly and well said, Watson. You've been a brick.
Then perhaps you will indulge me and let us leave directly. I would rather swim in a Calcutta cesspool than subject my constitution to the crockery and pestilential potables of this establishment.
I'll take that as a no, shall I?
Alright. Doesn't seem to have anything in here. Nothing of use. Alright. There's a photographer that I wanted to go to. I don't remember where it was. The city is so big that I didn't get anything from. Here it is.
Won't be a moment, gentlemen. The sample portraits are my calling cards. Feast your eyes and help yourselves.
There he is. Oh, well, let's save it. All right. See what we can. Let's see what we can. See if we can do anything with any of our inventory items.
For whom did you make this copy, Hargrove?
That's not my work.
Nonsense. You are accused and convicted from your own mouth. I recovered this from a foreign agent, Hargrove. You are at least a dupe, and perhaps a traitor.
That's abusive language. I'll advise my solicitor to take steps, or I may seek satisfaction myself.
Observe, I am not petrified. Your threat has less bite than a cuttlefish. Watson, don't let Mr. Hargrove hurt himself attempting something foolish.
Okay. Anything else that this?
Who is the person depicted in the photograph?
Lieutenant Basingstoke. He recently succumbed to cholera in Suez. Shocking loss for all who knew him. How have you come by it?
By accident. Is it unique?
Hardly. I must have made 10 copies. Extraordinarily sharp image, if I do say. I wonder how it was damaged.
Well, that's interesting. Why did he have a photo of that? I don't understand why he had a photo of that. That's weird.
Mr. Hargrove, my name is Holmes. I'd like to ask you a few questions.
I never haggle over price. You may check my book for an available sitting.
Thank you, no. I merely require some information.
Mr. Holmes, is it? Information is not my business. I am an artist.
You're too modest, sir. You may know much to my purpose. Did Basingstoke reveal why he wanted to be photographed?
No, I never ask. But I suppose the desire to stall the march of time informs all possible reasons. An image is an aid to memory.
But it captures nothing essential. It's less than a fly caught in amber. No vitality or habits of mine are preserved.
I don't believe, sir, that my studio can hold any further interest for you.
I saw the portrait you did for my friend, Lord Lawton, and his fiancée.
And you were impressed. They are a handsome couple, are they not? Might I do the same for you and your intended?
Not at the moment. Do you use gold chloride to tone your paper?
Never. My printing out paper is unique, sir. The finest Godin gelatin silver. But instead of chloride, I use well, another salt. I trust you're not going to become a competitor.
Well, that's interesting.
Where do you keep duplicate negatives?
I have no storage facilities.
What if Lady Lockridge were to lose or damage hers?
A truly skillful photographer could achieve something with the positive, but that's beside the point. You had other business with me.
Most studios now use the collodion development process, do they not?
They do, and I say let them. I provide choices. My unique collodion technique produces distinctively excellent results which cannot be imitated by any jackass who calls himself a photographer.
Is not all collodion development basically the same? Phenol to reduce, sodium sulfite for control, and the thiosulfate solution to fix.
Excuse my snorting. Your ignorance is common. I won't divulge my methods, but I will say, for example, that cyanide in skilled hands is a better fixative than thiosulfate could ever be.
Something tells me maybe I have to look at some stuff. A small supply of business cards are casually stacked in the silver-plated bowl. Cards have virtually replaced the traditional cards stay visit. Okay. I just don't know. I'm stuck here. Promoted Lord Halliburton's fiance may have generously be described as unkempt virago. Appears quite presentable. An expert might sniff out what is peculiar about her ensemble. May have to look at him. Previous generation used this vintage portrait camera with chemically treated silver plates to create daguerreotypes. Wet glass plates are now standard. An unlit incandescent bulb lamp stands a century. careless knot in the photographer's cravat is intended to convey an artistic ensconchment. Cosmetics have enlivened his eyes and improved his complexion. He has taken more care than he might with his luxuriant hair and eyebrows. Oh.
I believe I have seen more of your work, sir.
I'm not surprised. It appears in many of the city's celebrated addresses. Whom have you viewed?
I'm not certain, but the brilliant finish of the paper is reminiscent of your style. Do people still sit for daguerreotypes in this day and age?
It's time-consuming, of course, but many of my discerning clients prefer the unique positive image. A daguerreotype is an unreproducible jewel of unmatched clarity.
Gosh, I just don't know what to do. I am lost here. Do I have anything else that I can show him?
For whom did you make this copy, Hargrove?
That's not my work.
Nonsense. You are accused and convicted from your own mouth. I recovered this from a foreign agent, Hargrove. You are at least a dupe, and perhaps a traitor.
That's abusive language. I'll advise my solicitor to take steps, or I may seek satisfaction myself.
Observe, I am not petrified. Your threat has less bite than a cuttlefish. Watson, don't let Mr. Hargrove hurt himself attempting something foolish.
I don't know what to do.
Remarkable picture of Lord Halliburton's affianced. Hargrove is skilled.
The image is sharp and brilliantly finished. Best of all, it bears little resemblance to the woman herself. Without the legend, I would never have recognized her.
Were she to retire from society, the photograph would enhance her reputation. The portrait probably makes better conversation. There's something odd about her costume. Do you see it?
I defer comment. Fashion is not my field.
Stitch Rumsey's expert opinion would be welcome. Things may not be what they seem here, Watson. Discretion must be our watchword.
I'll follow your lead.
I'm certain Hargrove is involved in this travesty, Watson. I simply can't prove it yet.
Experimental results might make a stronger case.
I have experimental results, don't I? I don't understand what I need to do. Maybe I was wrong. Maybe I need to do something with the formula. I just thought of something. I think I did something with a photograph, but I didn't actually do something with the formula. I think I need to do something with the formula. I just made a realization that I think I forgot to do something. I think I need to do something with the actual formula. I had it on my list of stuff to do, and I was thinking the photograph of the formula, but I have the formula itself, and I forgot to. I think I need to test it for something. Man, this is what happens when I haven't played the game for like several days. I forget what I was supposed to do. So I think I want to use. Whoops. I think I want to examine that using the lab table. I think that's what I want to do.
The brown stain is water-based.
Is it tea or coffee?
Neither, I suspect.
Oh, we're trying to figure out what the brown stain is. Okay. So we'll taste it.
Not vegetable or animal matter. I'd wager it's an alkaline salt, and there's a hint of something bitter.
All right. What else can we do to it? Ah! And smell it. Yeah.
Decisively bitter, but too faint to say more.
Is it my imagination, or has the stain darkened slightly?
I think you're right, Watson. I suspect potassium cyanide or thiosulfate of soda. Both are photographers' fixatives. Both are light sensitive.
Cyanide sounds bad. Okay, now we're going to analyze it.
I'll analyze a piece of the stain in a sulfate solution. A yellow result will show I'm on the right track.
Fine, Holmes, but please maintain the integrity of the document.
Okay. Sulfate solution. So, is there a sulfate solution? I see sodium sulfate and ferric sulfate. Hey, is there copper sulfate? There is not copper sulfate. There is sodium sulfate. Oh yeah, okay. That is true. Well, there we go. Okay. How are you doing? Vitriol plays. Okay. Yes, you did. We have a lab, a sulfate solution. So what do I need? Do I need to put that in there? No. Ferric sulfate? Oh, there we go. And maybe some water. Alright, cool, cool. That worked. Alright. And then if it turns, and then we want to use the scissors on this, cut a little piece off. Then we want to take this piece and put it in the thing.
Looks like a strong solution of potassium cyanide. The proper nitrate will provide the emblematic Prussian blue.
Okay, so what do we need? We need to add something that'll turn it blue. Okay, what do we need? Silver nitrate? No. Iodine? No. Iron nitrate? Oh, there we go.
You've got the result, but what does it mean?
The formula has almost certainly been photographically copied. Our search continues.
All right. I think now we can. I think we now have evidence. I think we now have evidence against the photographer that he did copy it based on his secret formula. His secret formula. Yeah. All right. Do we have that in our inventory? The evidence? No, we don't have the evidence. Okay, but we do know he did it. And we can prove it. So I think we now want to go confront him and say, "Hey, look, we did this, and we know you did it. So just confess." All right.
Return to the hunt, eh, Watson?
As you...
So we cleverly got them to admit that he used cyanide in his development process, which is unusual because it's not common. So maybe we can go talk to him now and we can get some more info from him. This game is interesting. This is my 8th day playing it.
Won't be a moment, gentlemen. The sample portraits are my calling cards. Feast your eyes and help yourselves.
You've seen me before, but okay. Take another card. That's my 3rd card I've taken. Alright. Let's try and talk to him again. See if I can, like, say, "Hey!"
I believe I've happened upon a sample of your work, Mr. Hargrove.
You're a collector, then? I'll have to number you among my admirers, Mr. Helms.
The name is Holmes, Sherlock Holmes.
Helms.
I've heard that name, I'm sure. What do you have?
You've been playing a very dangerous game, Hargrove, and I intend to put you out. You'll want more privacy, I think. Let's go in back.
Let's go in back. Okay. Draw. I assume we mean open versus draw.
You have no special privileges here. Go peddle your ridiculous accusations elsewhere, or I shall call the police.
No, Mr. Hargrove. The tables have turned. I may call them myself. Remark, Watson. Pornography is so predictable.
That is a libelous characterization. I am an artist.
We won't argue the point now. Let's just say you're an idiot.
Let's just say you're an idiot. The curtain conceals an archway to a very different sort of room. The two parts of the studio form a metaphor for the dichotomy of modern life, the ostensible respectability of outward appearance, and the immorality of a shrouded through vulgar reality. That was funny. All right, let's start looking at stuff. Got backdrops. Look. The lotus of this movable screen is the Roman amphitheater. Let's examine it. Ooh. Examining. Two screens lean behind the Roman amphitheater. One depicts a foul medieval dungeon. The other shows a vulgar version of the Brighton beach pier. Let's look at the chemicals. Trays of processing solution are set in a galvanized sink. Bottles of Haddel's sulfates and sulfuric acid are ready to hand. Nice. All right, we got that. We got a painting. This pastoral scene is rendered after the style of Jean-Baptiste Greuze. His slightly, Perumant compositions of everyday life are much imitated and much admired by a particular audience. So it's I guess somewhat in the way of pornography. Okay, dressing screen, mirror. I don't think any of that we have to look at, but you never know. Portal. Okay, let's talk to him.
Your distinctive fixing process made you suspect, Hargrove. Your unique printing out paper indicted you.
Others may use the same combinations, not as well, of course.
I believe that under special circumstances, traitors may still be hanged.
We could, perhaps, explore the possibility that I may have been compelled to do something a bit beyond legal, but I'm not a traitor.
Okay, so he was compelled.
Who hired you to copy the formula?
I will not respond while under duress.
You have misread your role, Hargrove. You will dictate no terms. I can make duress a permanent condition of your life. Cooperation may win you consideration. Change your act now, or I will take you down.
Perhaps I've been hasty, Mr. Holmes. But I am terribly frightened. I'm actually a victim in this travesty. Honestly, I didn't wish to do wrong. A lout named Scarrett brought the original document to me and demanded I make a copy.
He's a fat man? Middle-aged? Fair?
No, he's a young blade, dark as an Italian, the eyes of a bipedal predator, and
Oh, this is
fond of a
Vincent.
boy, I noticed.
You were well paid for your work?
Not a farthing. Money was not offered nor requested. I was forced by other means.
Okay, now he's like got his hands in his face. Nice, I like it. Okay.
Of all the photographers in London, why were you chosen for this task?
A crisp image of a printed page is not easy. The subject matter added to the difficulty. I have a certain reputation.
Not one you'd like your mother to hear of, I'll wager. You said you were compelled. How? By whom?
These people are savages, Holmes. I can say no more. It was as I'm telling it. Take my word for it.
Not likely. I'm sure you sport the type of vices that make you an easy mark for a blackmailer.
Fine. Let's say some of my more adventurous photographs fell into the wrong hands.
Ah, okay. I'm starting to paint a picture here. This may be the connection between him and Lawton. Maybe the photograph that disappeared from Lawton's is his photograph, and therefore Lawton, it was one photograph to blackmail both of them at the same time. Interesting.
I wonder Scarrett did not request a daguerreotype. He might at least have made a pretense of selling a unique copy.
He rejected my suggestion. Ignorance, I imagine, insisted on the collodion, wanted the negative.
Obviously. But for what purpose? The Prussian would have wanted exclusivity. Perhaps Scarrett intends to sell the formula more than once. Perhaps you kept a copy, thinking you might do some business on your own.
Only the strongest compulsion could make me violate my ethical standards.
Oh, please, your lies are lame, and even your excuses have peg legs.
I love it. No doubt you're
No doubt your avocation is more lucrative than conventional portraiture.
My business is hardly your concern.
To your misfortune, Hargrove, you and what you are pleased to call your business have become obsessions. Watson, you might ring Lestrade. Tell him to bring a warrant for this reprobate. We're dealing with a habitual criminal, traitor, pornographer, and who knows what else.
Hold on now, you're not the police. Don't be hasty.
Oh, man. What else can we say?
Mr. Hargrove, I'm in a position to do you very little good and a great deal of harm.
Is that intended as a warning?
It is simply a fact. Remember it as we speak.
If you insist, Mr. Holmes, I shall try. It must queue up as one of many urgent claims on my memory.
Alright, let's see what else we can do with this room. I think there's more to this room than meets the eye. I think there's stuff I can find. Pressing the screen, let's inspect it. Maybe we can see what's behind it. Maybe there's some secrets. Secret stuff. An assortment of abbreviated bathing costumes, rent togas, frilly undergarments, stockings, garters, outsized whalebone corsets, feathers, fans, leather whips, and chains are suspended from hooks. That would be a no. Nothing, I mean, sure, interesting stuff, but not that helps with my investigation. Alright, let's see. Were this mirror more conventionally suited, the subjects could examine their ludicrous and indecent outfits and reconsider their folly, before the photographer captured them. Okay. Camera. We can move it. Okay, let's do that. I don't know why we want to move it. Let's move it. Do you want to use it? No? Let's examine the rug. Maybe there's like a secret, The carpet, though not old or threadbare, seems excessively thin. It sits directly on the floor rather than on a carpet pad. Move it. Let's move it. What appears to be a virtually square steel cabinet is sealed perfectly flush in the floor. Ooh, that. Look at that. Found a cabinet. Let's look at it. The cabinet resembles a conventional wall vault. The combination lock and handle are set in the door. Can we open it? Yes, it's a floor safe. It looks like it's locked. Alright. Alright. What's in it?
I wish to see the contents of this cabinet. Will you give me the combination?
I never use it. Really, I can't recall the last time I put anything in there. I forget things, you see. They disappear. In all the excitement, I've forgotten it completely. It may come to me, but I doubt it.
Okay.
It's likely he has recorded the combination to the safe. If you can suggest where, we might escape another of his lies.
I've no idea. Why do you think he's recorded it?
Because I think he inadvertently told us something true. He said his memory is bad. I suspect it is. He has no reason to lie about it.
Okay.
A photographer's chemicals have much in common with those used in the manufacture of explosives.
I'm a novice, as you witnessed.
Cellulose nitrates are the basis of high explosives. Is our photographer a bomber?
I doubt it, and so do you.
Given his penchant for self-promotion, why is none of his work displayed?
Perhaps it is too artistic for exhibition.
True. Salacious subject matter thrives on reputation, but it requires occasional viewing. Perhaps he keeps his naughty bits secreted away, as young boys hide French postcards.
His naughty bits.
Have you remarked how the tendrils of this matter creep and entwine around photography?
The formula, Pratt's friend, the engagement portrait, the photos stolen from Lawton's, I know. But making something of it is beyond my powers.
Concentrate, Doctor. My brain is jangling. We are close to untangling this tragic mess.
I'll have to take your word for it.
Alright, let's see. What do we got in our inventory? We have this business card. Look. I can use it. A decade ago, London received the first telephone exchange. Bitterly contentious debate still rages whether it is more convenient than a telegram. It is certainly more intrusive and therefore less civilized. Indeed. I agree. We have a use option. We use it on the save? Maybe there's a... Nice! Yeah! Apparently, he wrote the combination on his business card, or something on his business card was the combination. Oh yeah! Several manila folders are stacked in the cabinet. Okay, we got this. We got this. Alright, let's look in, let's peruse it. Alright. What do we got? A series of photographic images depict cavorting men and women, child indecency, and sadism. Two portraits are conspicuous in their Autier collection. In this Autier collection. In one is an elegantly dressed woman of familiar mien is informally posed. In the second, the same woman in the same pose appears to look admiringly at Lord Lawton. Lawton's position is the same as in his engagement portrait. Interesting. That's interesting. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't really... I'm trying to wrap my head around exactly what that means. It almost seems like he intended the engagement portrait to somehow replace the portrait he had or something like that. Huh. Confiscate. Do I want to confiscate it? Top folder is unlabeled, save for a list of 6 London exchanges boldly written in one corner. The first 5, though legible, are crossed out. The 6th reads Holborn 232. Confiscate it. Yoink. Oh, I have a yoink sound.
Yoink!
There we go. Got it. All right.
How did you inform Scarrett that the photograph was ready?
He returned at an appointed time.
I think not. He didn't want you to think the work was urgent. No, you telephoned him. That was his idea. He'd want as little exposure as possible. What is his telephone number?
Perhaps I did telephone him, but the number has slipped from my memory. I'm quite remiss in that department.
Oh, God. Why are you being so difficult?
Whose telephone number have you kept? Is it Scarrett's?
Please, Mr. Holmes, I beg you.
If you expect me to care, you'll have to say more.
I cannot. I will not.
You face ruination and prison, and still you will not help yourself. Who is capable of causing such fear? Not Scarrett, I think. Silence will neither serve nor save you, Hargrove. When I find this fiend, and I will, I'll let it be known that you betrayed him.
I can look, use, and show it. Oh wait, this exchanges.
Central Exchange? This is the Lord Mayor's office. A document here requires urgent delivery, but I only have the party's telephone number. Can you supply me with the address, please? Holborn 232. That's just beyond the viaduct, is it? Thank you. Mystery importing indeed.
All right. Got it. Anything else? Nope. Anything that Watson can do? Oh, man. Oh, man. Oh. Let's save.
I have a feeling some bad stuff is about to go down.
Alright, I think we're done here.
Has anything escaped me, Watson?
I should think so, Holmes. If Hargrove is a central figure in this debacle, worry the slime. Torture would be too good for him.
Wait, we're not done yet. Okay, let's show him the folder then. Okay. Apparently I missed something. Am I...
Has anything
I should think so.
Huh. What else do I need to do? I'm not done here yet.
Please connect me to Holborn 232. I beg your pardon. Wrong number. Someone is there, Watson.
Excellent.
Alright, maybe that's what I need to do.
Are you ready to proceed, Doctor?
Yeah, there we
The
go.
case increases in interest.
And in danger, I imagine. Should the police be notified?
I'd rather circulation of the stories of the ministry theft and the extortion involving a royal person be severely restricted.
Perhaps Hargrove should be immobilized. I wouldn't want Major Mystery or Scarrett prepared for our arrival.
Immobilized?
No. Hargrove has parted company with the Major. If he follows his form, the Major will demand swift and violent retribution for the betrayal. Lestrade affords him the only protection he can expect this side of heaven. He won't do anything that might alienate the institution that can protect him. Do we understand one another, Hargrove?
Perfectly. I never saw the formula or the royal person. You were never here. Give me the telephone. Perhaps Lestrade could find me a private cell while his office undertakes a lengthy investigation into an accusation of pornography. I'll suggest it.
Okay. Apparently he'd rather do some jail time for pornography than risk death. Okay. Alright, I think we got a new location. I still want to go home and see if I can maybe talk to Bledsoe. Because that's on my list. Okay, let me look at my notes. So I did that. We have what was the name? Let me go to my house. There was a name, Scarrett or something like that. Let's journal. And last entry, Scarrett. Yeah. So there was a Vincent, but there was also seems to be somebody named Scarrett. So we have a Scarrett. We don't. It sounded a lot like Vincent. He is dead. Colonel Wow sounded just the description kind of sounded like Vincent. May not have been, but it sounded like it. Let's see if Wiggins has anything to say.
Wiggins, I want you to exercise your powers of observation.
At the usual rate?
Of course. If you remark any suspicious doings outside of 221B or hear anything on the street, report it to me.
My eyes and ears is yours, Mr. Holmes.
That's new. Nothing. Okay. Let's open the door. See if there's anything new in here. Hoping to get there we go. That might be it. That might be the knock I've been hoping for. The Bledsoe. Is this the talk to Bledsoe knock?
Come in, Mrs. Hudson.
Telegram.
Come today at your convenience. Bledsoe awaits with the equanimity of a ring-tailed lemur in a room of rocking chairs. There will be conditions, but you won't mind that, I suspect. JF. The elusive Bledsoe run to earth. I suppose we must see him eventually, though my hopes are not high.
Farthington has taken some trouble. We shouldn't be discourteous.
I agree. Let's go. Let's go to the lawyer's place.
Let's be off, Watson, while the scent is fresh.
I'm no tracking hound, Holmes, but I know how to hunt.
My notes are pretty clear on this. He's not a suspect, but we should talk to him. Right here. He seems to be scared. He's childless. He has family money. He despises excitement of any kind. His wife died. His wife is the daughter of Silius Brine, who is his wife is dead. I know. His father-in-law does not like him, and his father-in-law prints negative articles about him. That's what we know about him. So he is kind of being dragged through the gutter by his father-in-law because I don't know why. Alright. What can we do here?
Mr. Holmes, Dr. Watson, may I present Mr. Philip Bledsoe? I leave you alone. Mr. Holmes, please remember your pledge. No badgering.
Alright, it's time to take some notes. And not badgering.
Thank you for seeing us, Mr. Bledsoe. Thank Farthington, I was dragooned. I'm sorry you feel coerced. Spare me the pleasantries and state your business. Fair enough. On my brother's behalf, I'm looking into the disappearance of Professor Dewar's formula from the ministry. You can prove your bona fides, I presume.
I guess, do I have to show him my summons? No. Do I have to...
When did you last look at Dewar's formula? I never saw it. I mean, I checked it out, but I didn't break the seal. I returned it. The clerk will verify my account. Regrettably, Mr. Pratt can supply no such thing, which is one of the reasons we're talking. But never mind. Please be responsive to the original question, Mr. Bledsoe. If I want bullying, I can go to the Gadfly. I checked it out because I take my duties seriously. I'm behind in my document reading. Very commendable, I'm sure. I assume you know that Pratt was found murdered. Do you know where we might find any of his associates or Mrs. Ratchet? Now you're on to something. Why do you say so? I've had thoughts about those two. They were both on duty when I went home. I know nothing of his social set, but Pratt's fondness for bathhouses is well known. Local ones, I should think. What about Mrs. Ratchet? The woman lives somewhere out east. Radicals all over the place. In other words, you know nothing about either one. Presumably you know my brother has been hospitalized. Yes. I suppose the investigation will be indefinitely postponed. Your concern is touching. The explosion that injured him was no accident. I had nothing to do with it, I assure you. I hope not. The attempt on his life was related to the formula's theft. I had nothing to do with that either, if there was a theft. Don't be quite so literal, Mr. Bledsoe. I'm asking for your help. Certainly you see now that these events are related. The termination of the inquiry into the theft is necessarily connected to them both. That wasn't my idea. I'm innocent of initiating anything that might be construed as criminal. That narrow view will cause you grief someday, Mr. Bledsoe. Perhaps sooner than you think. Why did you vote to terminate the committee's investigation into the theft? The government can't tolerate another scandal. Charges of incompetence and lack of security are terribly damaging. A theft hadn't been proved. Why advertise the worst? I certainly don't need the aggravation. Gutter Press would have a field day. There is more at stake here, sir, than your personal comfort. That's right. Twist my words. I only meant that things go missing all the time and they turn up none the worse. Everyone except your brother was in favor of dropping the investigation, at least temporarily. If not yours, whose idea was it to quash the investigation? It might have been Lawton. Or perhaps Silverbridge. One or the other.
I got that from the other person I talked about this as well. I think from Fanshawe, Sir Avery, he said the same exact thing. Lawton or Silverbridge. It's interesting that they said Lawton or Silverbridge. Both of them said that. That's interesting. So he voted because he didn't want to... so government couldn't afford a scandal, and things usually turn up after a while anyway. And then he also said Lawton or Silverbridge wanted to terminate investigation. Okay. All right. Okay. So got that. Got that info. Anything else? Can we say anything else about him?
It's awkward to find you via Farthington. Where might we reach you if the need arises? I like to present a moving target to my enemies, Mr. Holmes. Never stay in one place too long. Scurrilous news hounds are always trying to corner me. Until this blows over, you should consider me unavailable.
Okay. That was not helpful. Kind of already knew it wasn't going to be helpful, but man, that was way less helpful.
We did a good bit of work for the Carraways, Watson, if I say so myself.
One day the world will learn of it too. It's called The Case of the Serrated Scalpel.
You've written it up, have you? Shall I see it published?
Not in this lifetime, old friend. We made a promise. Rest assured, I've given credit where it was due. Protected the innocent, and vilified the guilty. All received their just deserts.
We're talking about the previous game.
Questions, Watson?
Does it seem to you that security at the Ministry is not everything it might be?
It seems that security there is nothing it ought to be.
No use crying over spilt milk, I suppose.
Right. Wait till it turns rancid, then gag on it.
Alright, I don't know what to do now. Oh wait, we have another location, don't we? Okay, we have the mystery import or whatever thing. Where's that at? It's on here somewhere. Where is it? Is this it? Oh, this is it. Let's go here.
That
All right.
wasn't too difficult. Let's not announce our presence.
Should you weary of your work, you might consider a career in unlawful entry. Your expertise exceeds that of a cat burglar.
Alright. We made our way in here, and apparently we did it through questionably legal means. Alright. What can we do in here? Oak shelves support an aged library. The titles are unexceptionally devoted to ship registries, admiralty law, and other abstruse nautical specialties. Copy desks. Inspect. Pitted from use and the ravages of woodworms, the desks are also dusty. They are rarely used. The inkwells are as dry as the Sahara. Antique goose quills and ragged sleeve protectors are heaped beside crumpled sheets of full scrap. Door. Amen. There's a calendar. Let's look at that. Rip. We have Rip. All the title charts recorded in such a calendar are indispensable for operating a profitable shipping concern. But this particular calendar is almost 10 years old and has no use beyond its decorative merit, which is small. Let's type Rip. Okay, I don't know why we did that, but okay. Clock. Watson is amused by the nautical atmosphere. Perhaps it is from such a place that unsuspecting and unwilling men were impressed into service into the high seas. Oh, we can listen at the door. Listen at the door.
I believe I hear snoring.
Pipe down, then. Our advantage will be lost.
The door has been locked, apparently by means of a primitive but secure warding lock. Okay. Oh, we have a lock. Exam probe? What does that mean? Examine. So the keyhole is large, no light is visible.
The key's in place, but my pinky's too big to shift it.
A lucky thing, too. What good would it have done to dislodge it?
Ah! It's one of those key puzzles. These are so common. Okay, we got that calendar. We can slide it under the door. We could pretty much use any piece of paper, but we might as well use the calendar we just got. Slide under door. Okay, and then we want to use we have a needle and a looks like this would be good. This looks like it would serve the purpose that we want.
I heard a distinct clink. We've likely lost the element of surprise. I'm an idiot, Watson.
Nonsense, Holmes. Perhaps it didn't fall far from the door. If he hasn't heard us before now, that noise won't alert him.
I did get a key. Oh. We found the person who... We found somebody.
Gentlemen, I was resting my eyes. I didn't...
Stay where you are, Mystery. Speak when spoken to and keep your hands in view.
Alright, we got a gun pulled on him. The man could pass as a mortician or a bank manager. Below his high domed forehead, his pale pitted face wears a preternaturally neutral expression. Wow, that's a long word. The slow reptilian oscillation of his head is disconcerting. That's funny. It's funny. Let's talk to him.
Major Mystery, I am Sherlock Holmes.
Were he here, I'm sure Mystery, that's Misteray, would excuse your common mispronunciation of his name. I am Jeremiah M. Story, an acquaintance.
If you like, why not Jose Ray Martin? Never mind. Offal by any other name smells the same.
Your speech, Mr. Holmes, is as offensive as your presence is unwanted. To what do I owe this unorthodox intrusion?
To crime, you scoundrel. Your crimes and those of your despicable surrogates have brought me here. Your insidious scheme has unraveled completely, Mr. A. Will you confess your part in it?
I would deem your declaration to be less than worthless if I knew what you were talking about.
Your plan to sell Professor Dewar's formula to von Bismarck is ruined. Your client has killed himself, and his copy of the formula is seized. The crimes committed to support your plan have failed. I'm about to tie an adamantine knot around a large and cruel conspiracy, and you are the rope. Plain enough?
Talk is cheaper and your time less valuable than I had imagined.
Alright. Nothing. Oh, man. He put a card here. So I can't do anything with that. Carpet. There's a carpet here. An aquarium. Taste. Two palm-sized fish patrol the large tank. Their huge jaws are crowded with sharp triangular teeth. Ooh. A few scavenger mollusks share space with a small bronze Poseidon. His emblematic trident stands beside him. A few grains of white sand are fixed in evaporated water droplets on the floor below. What's happening?
Bad luck. I'll have to retrieve that later.
This genre portrait of Napoleon is reminiscent of Guiz's study of Robespierre and other notable characters of the French Revolution. Desk side drawers. Okay. Look. Can we open them? Can we open the side drawers? Drawers. Two capacious common drawers are unlocked, but we can't open them. Okay. The desk. The Empire-style desk was a decent, if unwieldy, piece. Time and neglect have taken their toll. It is equipped with 3 drawers, 2 common, and 1 secure. Oh, the secure drawer is locked, of course. If one took no care for the contents, the drawer might be forced with a massive crowbar or dynamite. The unusual lock is nearly inaccessible. It appears to consist of 3 keyholes, equidistantly positioned on a line.
Are you trying to cause a hernia?
Funny. There's a cat. Cat. A large black cat gazes alternatively at the strangers and the aquarium. His alert ears and twitching tail suggest that any attempt to discommode him would be vigorously resisted. There was something in here. They talk about a trident, and that's interesting.
What are these fish?
Aurora and Borealis, fascinating creatures. They're Amazonian piranhas, the world's most predacious and voracious characines.
Suitable companions for you, I'm sure.
Aurora Borealis, at this time of day, in this part of the country, entirely isolated inside your aquarium.
Where is the key for this drawer?
I have no idea. I don't believe Mr. A keeps anything in there.
A locked drawer with nothing in it? I don't think so. Empty your pockets.
I love the animation. That is solid.
You share artistic tastes with the depraved photographer Hargrove.
Whoever that is, presumably it is not a crime to appreciate great art.
No, but it is the other side of lawful to possess it without the benefit of a bill of sale.
I'll tell Mr. A you were concerned.
How long has the aquarium been here?
I have no idea. It's not mine, as I've said. You are not quite as bright as I've been led to believe, Mr. Holmes.
I won't be distracted by puerile insults.
I merely state an opinion. Such chicanery is beneath me.
Nothing is beneath you. You are the sort of contemptible outlaw who coerces others to do his bidding, a completely amoral puppet master. And I will stop at nothing to destroy you and your agents.
I have nothing more to say to you, Holmes. Call in the hobnailed boots if you wish. My solicitor will deal with them.
You are many things, Mr. A, but not slovenly, I think.
My name is Story. Why do you address me incorrectly?
What can your name matter? However you call yourself, you are certainly a villain.
All right. Oh, we gotta. Guess we gotta keep looking. The shelves contain esoteric and abstruse volumes on astrology and higher mathematics. Fermat, Ponicare, and Tycho Brahe are represented. Very odd. A very odd thing? Huh. Does seem very odd. Let's see. Let's try my inventory. Alright, let's see if we can show this guy to him.
You recognize Colonel Merlendorf? Yes, I can see you do.
A fop with a beard. Never laid eyes on him.
My gosh, everybody lies. Stop lying. Ugh. Man, oh man. A biscuit. No. We got a show on that one. Here we go. Show them the evidence.
A photograph of incomprehensible chemical notations. Fascinating to someone, I am sure, but not to me.
Okay, does that give me any new dialogue options? Oh, here we go.
Did I mention that Merlendorf died in his army uniform? The Lord Chief Justice takes a dim view of treason.
The Prussian can hardly corroborate your wild charges.
The game is up, Mr. A. Give me the man called Scarrett, and you might save yourself from his fate, which is certain execution.
You are not the police, and even if you were, you've nothing that will stick to the Major. Twist and turn as you will, you have no proof of anything. Give it to the coppers, see what they say.
I can see you don't fear the police, but I won't confine my report to them. I am not without contacts in the underworld. I'll circulate the story that you betrayed the Prussian for profit. I'll make you an international renegade and a pariah among your own kind.
Were I the person you seek, you might double-cross me anyway.
You'll have to trust me, won't you?
Haha, I like this threatening him.
Were your dealings with the Prussians simply a matter of money?
Matters of money are rarely simple, but I am unacquainted with any Prussians.
I believe this room will prove you a liar. For one who claims no knowledge of scientific notation, you seem well up on your maths.
The books are Mr. A's. He is not without certain mathematical interests.
A man of many talents is Major Mr. A. I believe we've only scratched this miscreant's surface, Watson.
Anything else? Oh. Wait, what did it say? 2 palms? Oh, yeah, we already did that.
everybody. Hi, Dr. Nick.
Hey, Retro Gaming Junction, how are you doing tonight? I'm hoping to finish up Sherlock Holmes and the Curse of the Rose Tattoo tonight. And yeah, that is a lot of notes. I probably should have removed them, but we're not really in note-taking mode right now. But yes, I have a lot of notes. I mean, this is my 8th. For an adventure game, this is a really long game. Okay, well, I'm willing to put my notes back. I'm not really dealing with that side of the screen. I mean, that's not the whole sheet. The whole sheet is quite a bit. This is notes on all the suspects and the stuff the info I've got about them and stuff they've said. Let's see. Maybe I can see, is there anything I can do with my inventory? Look. I've already shown him that. Whoops, didn't want to do that. It's very good. It's very good. The story is very intriguing. It feels a lot like a Sherlock Holmes book. Which I think is really cool. They really kind of tried to create a new Sherlock Holmes book with this game. And I think they did a really good job. There are a few problems with the game. I think that sometimes you really have to investigate to get some options in the game. That's my biggest issue with the game. Sometimes you have to look at literally everything in the room to get like the what you need to do next. I'm trying to figure out how to. There seems to be something inside the aquarium that I need. So I feel like I could. Oh, I have a pistol too. I didn't know that. Photograph, sealing wax. What do I need to do? What do I need to do? Oh, wait. I just saw something. Trident. There it is. Let's look at it. Look. The violent and air-tempered water deity is rarely portrayed without his fish spear. The prongs and handles of his brass trident are more verbose than might be expected in an artistic rendition. It's the key to the desk. The trident is the key to the desk. Because it said it was three equidistant locks. Okay. Alright. I see. Alright, so we need to somehow get that. Well, let's save. I don't think we can die in this game, but I'm going to save anyway. Get Trident. Okay, save. Alright. I'm guessing this will fail. Okay. No. The trident is standing upright in the sand. There is no convenient way to get it without jeopardizing one's hands. Okay. If you can talk to him now.
Where is the key for the...
I have no idea. I don't believe Mr. A keeps anything in there.
A locked drawer with nothing in it?
He's
I don't
lying.
think so.
Man,
Empty
he
your
is
pockets.
such a liar. I've already done this. It's in the aquarium. The key's in the aquarium. It's the trident. I'm fairly certain. Just don't know how to get it. I can break it with something. Break the aquarium. I mean, I'd kill the fish, but... No.
Are you trying to cause...
Wait. Break! I finally have the option. That's one issue I have with the game, is sometimes you have to do things.
Have you lost your mind, Holmes? Control your temper. You'll only mutilate your hand. That glass is specially hardened. Couldn't break it with a hammer.
I will have that trident, Watson. Old Neptune's badge would make a practical souvenir, Watson.
I wouldn't risk my fingers, Holmes.
No, I value my digits. Major Mystery is going to be unable to give these creatures the care they require. He'll be occupied at Dartmoor. The cat might be grateful for some work.
the cat. Okay. I can use whoops. I hate when I do that. Okay, no, I don't. I can shoot it. Shoot it with my gun. I'm gonna get this damn thing.
You are cruel, Mr. Holmes. Poor, defenseless creatures.
It is typically repulsive and perverted that you reserve your sympathy for things vicious by nature rather than inclination.
Okay, where's that trident? On 4. I want it. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? It's not in my inventory, is it? Somewhere. There it is. It's the key to the desk. I'm 100% sure about it. Just based on the way they describe the desk. Three equidistant keyholes and a trident. Yep. Alright, what did we get? Poseidon's trident is an ingenious key. Each of the prongs have been serrated and warded. The drawer contains a large amount of German currency, a wad of British fivers, and a photographic negative of Dwar's form. Oh, we found the negative! We found the negative! Awesome!
Here, Watson. Evidence so dear to the heart of Scotland Yard. Are you still smug, Mr. A?
I think so little of your acumen, let alone your evidence. Silence will serve me best. None of those things can be tied to me.
I don't wonder you've lost your voice. All your plans have now gone south. Your attempt to compromise British security has failed utterly.
What have you found, Holmes?
Enough to cook a very tough goose. German currency, a wad of fivers, and the photographic negative of Dewar's formula.
Can we pick them up? Look. The unwrinkled £5 notes bear the printing date 1874. There's something disturbingly familiar about the engraving. So they're counterfeit. We know they're counterfeit. The negative. Let's look at that. The photographic records of Dewar and Abel's deadly explosive formula. Let's pick that up. Pick it up. We definitely want that. And then we have the German banknotes. Let's look at those. An impressive quantity of newly printed German imperial marks are gathered by a ribbon. Okay. Pick those up. All right. Let's pick the fibers up. All right.
Yoink!
All right. Next. Let's
This string is played out, Mr. A. Where is the scurrilous composite of Lord Lawton and Princess Alexandra? Does Vincent Scarrett have it?
You continue to allude to matters about which I have no knowledge.
My eye, I'm sure you've insulated yourself from direct involvement in these several crimes. As you won't give up, Scarrett, we'll let Scotland Yard and your underworld colleagues sort it out. I'll parcel out the details in my own manner. The report will not show you in good light.
Vincent is like a son to me, Mr. Holmes, but I'm truly mortified by these vile allegations. If he has wandered beyond the bounds of good judgment, and it appears from what I've seen and heard that he might have done, I could hazard a guess about where he might be found, providing Lestrade and the others you mentioned may be kept out of this.
I'm listening, Mr. A. Naturally, I will have to test your veracity.
A nasty den on the river is his favorite haunt. The place has a nautical name.
Oh,
Vincent's
I
a bit
know.
rough on the margins.
I know where it is.
Unfortunate habits.
Your appraisal is too modest. He is in fact a brutal killer, a cruel extortionist, and an unredeemable villain.
That as may be. But you'll discover he's as docile as a house cat. I warn you, any calumny against me will fall on deaf ears. He may turn mute.
I will find his tongue.
Oh, see if I can talk to Watson. I think we've exhausted this location.
The connection between Scarrett and Pratt is finally clear, Watson. They were opium eaters.
Indeed? I didn't see it. I don't see it still.
Hargrove saw it, and Lloyd Jones smelled it. The two met, smoked, and shared secrets common to their addiction. Unbeknownst to Pratt, Scarrett was trawling for information, and he hooked it.
You mean he learned that Pratt was a ministry clerk with access to sensitive documents?
Yes, he learned all about Mycroft's ministry committee. The foibles and frailties of the members would be well known to Pratt, especially Lawton. They would be fine topics for conversation.
So Scarrett coerced him to steal the formula with something he learned during their sessions. What might they have had on him?
Debts? Evidence of unethical or immoral behavior? Perhaps they threatened him with death or mutilation. I've been gathering wool, Watson. I had this information and didn't put it together.
Okay.
How do you find the mastermind of this criminal enterprise?
Appearances must be deceiving, Holmes. He looks like my estate agent.
Do not underestimate him, Watson. The range of this conspiracy is decisive proof that behind the tranquil facade lives a malignant brain. He commands a network of thugs and vulnerable dupes. No crime is too great for their collective contemplation and execution. In every man's misfortune, he sees an opportunity to do harm. Shoot him if he tries to leave, Watson.
That's hardly likely, is it, Holmes?
Incarceration may seem to him the proverbial fate worse than death. Prison would curtail his activity, and the authorities could not provide the protection to which a man with enemies is accustomed. Remember, however he seems, he is a desperate adventurer, A cynical, unprincipled fiend.
Not an attractive specimen, then.
Hold him in contempt, Watson, but do not depreciate his capacity for evil or for harm. You stay here. I will see Scarrett in his den, or know the reason why.
Will you go alone?
Hold on. I thought our business was completed. I've given you Vincent.
You are mistaken. Scarrett is a servant, and you are his master. He can do everything for you except serve your jail sentence.
Easy, Holmes. Haste makes waste, or whatever cliché might bring you to your senses. Let's bring Lestrade into this now.
Do you think Scarrett will simply slink away as the net closes around him? The man is capable of anything, and he tried to kill my brother.
Your zeal has overcome your judgment. Don't be rash in your rush for revenge. If you go to that den as you are, you'll come to harm.
Don't fear. I will travel incognito, but I must take my chances alone. He must not get wind of all that has happened. Guard Mr. A. Watson. Farewell. We shall meet again.
Okay, so I need to go incognito. So whoa, where did all my places go? Oh man, I've got a lot less places now. Why would I want to go there? The tailor's still there. Go here and see if I can maybe get an outfit.
I need a nautical ensemble, Stitch. Can you help?
A late invitation to a dress ball, Mr. Holmes. Never go wrong as Lord Nelson.
Admiral of the Fleet is too patrician. Something much further down the ranks would serve me better.
But there's plenty of seaman's gear in the back. A patch and spike will sell the look. Just return 'em as you found 'em.
Okay, so I'm going to disguise myself as a sailor to go into the sailor bar. Oh my gosh. Look at me. I think I got like a fake, like some fake beard mustache thing. I probably need to change my accent too.
Any advice on how to carry off the disguise?
Well, avoid arg or shiver me timbers. You'll do fine.
Okay. Save. Save as sailor sailing to the pub. Alright. 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 Back here.
Merde!
Better have a gin to wet my whistle.
Your whistle's almost drowned by the sound of it, mate, but I never argue with a sailor what knows his mind when he's carrying a marlin spike.
Okay. What do I need? What do I need?
Shovel! Take a hike!
Okay. I think I'm gonna see anything in my inventory that would be useful. Money. Give.
Merde!
Give money to barman.
buy you cream tea at Lyons or something stronger in the back. You part ways to Nirvana.
Okay. 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 Alright. So far, so good.
Shovel!
Shovel? What else do we need to do? The ring wouldn't work. Paper. No, that wouldn't work. What do we need? What do we need here? Oops. Hat. Pistol. Button. Watch fob.
Merde!
Matches. I think the matches were actually from this pub. So maybe.
You remember this from the matchbox. It pays to advertise. You're moving in the right direction.
Okay, what does that mean?
Give me a place in the back, mate.
That's not how it's done, old salt. Been here before, have you?
Seen your mug half a dozen times, you Tasmanian devil.
There's something familiar about you. You know my rules, then?
They just slipped out of mind.
No strangers, no credit, no noise, no exceptions.
Okay.
You've got your Luca. The matches is my bona fide, all right?
Fine as far as it goes, mate, but you still owe me something.
I'm trying to lose my troubles and you put more in my way.
Just protecting my business. I got a reputation. Can't let just
Merde.
anybody back there. Now tell me what I want to hear or take a hike.
I think I remember the word you're looking for.
I'm all ears.
What? Enter password? Holy crap! What's the password? Okay, let's see if we can look this up.
Shovel! Take a hike!
This must be some sort of copy protection thing. My guess.
Merde!
Nope. Nope, not there. There we go. Password. At the end, toward the end here. Okay, there, I found it. Going east.
All right then, go on through. Pipes are on the left.
Shovel!
Alright. Alright, I got it. Going east was the password. It is some sort of copy protection thing.
Take a hike!
Alright, let's see.
Remember now, no trouble, no noise.
I'm in some sort of opium den. Oh, here's Scarrett. Alright. The villain who tried to kill Mycroft is betrayed by his eyes. A doll maker could have made a better pair. If the eyes are the window to the soul, he has none.
Deranged as you are, Skerritt, I'm not surprised you seek consolation in this den of iniquity.
Interfere with me at your peril, sailor. You don't know what you're dealing with.
False. You're a vicious criminal. Fortunately for the rest of us, your competence is not equal to your intent. My brother survived the outrage at the Diogenes. Young Silverbridge is safely rescued, and the Ministry formula never left the country. Even in your brutal and senseless murder of the hapless Pratt, you lost your gun. Not a good innings for you. Consider yourself detained. You'll be hanged at Crown expense.
It's the great Holmes, is it, in that sailor gear? Go peddle your papers. The police have no proof I've committed a crime.
Not yet, but I have a witness who saw you execute Pratt. Your defeat is total. Your paramour is dead, likewise your Prussian client. The ill-gotten money has been seized along with your patron. Incidentally, contrary to popular opinion, there is no honor among thieves. Mr. A betrayed you in an instant.
Did you think you would talk me into submission? I should have done you on the Cambridge train. I didn't see the reason then, but it's clear I might have saved myself some trouble.
Okay.
So to all vermin.
Drop it, Skerritt. Your real trouble is about to begin.
Oh, I shot him. He didn't drop it. What did I find? Where'd he go? Why is Watson here?
Fine disguise, Holmes. Your mother wouldn't know you. But what's happened here? I heard shots.
Skerritt gave me no selection, Watson. He is dead by a bullet from his own gun, and disposed of. Perhaps Needham will make a half-crown from his body. What was I playing at? I should have known he would have had another weapon. Where is Mr. A, by the way?
I handed him over to the inspectors you sent. They slipped the derbies on him and let him off.
The diabolical sod is clever, Watson. He deceived you. I sent no one. Pride goes before the fall, they say. We'll get another chance at him.
I'm feeling a bit unsteady, Holmes. Might we leave?
Of course, Doctor. A wash and a stiff scotch will set us to rights. The man who tried to kill Mycroft is dead. I rather wish I didn't feel so good about it. It will pass. Mycroft must be informed. I don't relish the prospect of seeing Matron again.
Perhaps she's warmed to you.
No more than a lap rug might warm the polar cap. I'll write to him first. We'll look in on Mycroft when he returns to the Arms.
Yes, so your message said. Wonderfully detailed, by the way. The minister was most impressed. Your discretion was widely appreciated. The death of this Skerritt fellow was unavoidable. You had no choice.
I didn't think your health enough improved to attend my funeral.
Most thoughtful. Any news of his ludicrously named employer?
Major Mystery is at large.
Well, you tied up the other bits very nicely. Carter is pleased. I've heard from Silverbridge, even Lawton is chastened. You have just cause for celebration.
Mr. Holmes, you're not resting. Matron specifically warned me that your brother would overstay his allotted time. He has interfered with your feeding.
Very well, sister. He and Dr. Watson are just leaving. You may bring in that gruel masquerading as food. We only have a moment, Sherlock. I don't wish Matron to receive a bad report. My minister informs me that a certain gracious lady has requested your attendance at Kensington. Please wear a clean cravat. My thanks for all you've done.
Best not keep her waiting. Be well, brother. Watson?
My appreciation, Mr. Holmes. I don't mind saying that your account was more enlightening than the PM's. You're certain my grandson was not implicated in the travesty?
Absolutely, ma'am. The Kaiser was truly outraged by the theft. His assistance in apprehending the malefactors was invaluable.
Your sovereign and your nation are grateful for your discreet and expeditious handling of this delicate matter, Mr. Holmes. And if you will pardon the language, this mystery seems the scum of the earth.
Your language is always appropriate, ma'am.
I'm ashamed of my part in this, ma'am. I trust there is no reason for the Prince of Wales to learn of it. I should think not. I regret that Bertie is far from a model of discretion in these matters. And you are not culpable, Alexandra. It was that Lawton fellow. Lawton behaved a perfect fool, Your Majesty. But I was not blameless. I was so grateful when he cleaned up the awful mess Prince Eddie made. I don't believe I could have denied Lawton anything he asked. Perhaps I was flirting a little. Still, it was most unwise to have sent such a photograph. I apologize, ma'am. Ancient history, my dear. Think no more of it. This story need not leave this room at any time soon, Mr. Holmes.
Indeed not, Your Majesty. The public, the police, and most of the government shall remain ignorant of the entire matter. The formula is secure. The composite has been recovered. Most of the villains have paid the ultimate penalty for their crimes. I'm sure one of the late Prince's charities can find a use for the Prussians' money.
Thank you. Now, indulge me for a moment more. Brown, if you will.
What's that, violin? No, is he getting knighted? Is that what's happening? Is he getting knighted? Oh yes, he's getting knighted. That looks much...
Please assume the customary position. For services to country and crown, I dub thee Knight of the Distinguished Service Order.
Dude.
Arise.
Woohoo!
It looks like a violin. Thought he was gonna...
Like
yeah.
the rest of this wretched matter, must remain a secret. I'm sorry.
If I have rendered service to my brother, to my country, and to you, ma'am, I am justly and handsomely rewarded.
Nicely said, sir.
Hey,
Sherlock.
thanks for stopping by.
Brown will show you out.
I'm fine with some lurking. We are now pretty much done with this game. Oh, we're back. We're back home.
A grateful and generous sovereign is a fine thing, Holmes.
Indeed, but no better than a true friend. My thanks for all you did, Watson. The case has concluded, Watson. Are you near finishing your account?
I've recorded most of its events, those I witnessed and those you told me about, but the historical record demands a summary. Some issues are not entirely clear.
I am not surprised. This was a most peculiar and troubling matter.
I admired
Yes.
your reasoning early on that the 3 investigations were linked. The suppression of the inquiry and the attempt on Mycroft were in support of the theft. Nevertheless, I lost my way through the investigation a number of times.
You were not alone. I call to your attention the complexity of the conspiracy, its political, diplomatic, and military implications, the dazzling audacity of the villains, the calculated cruelty in support of treason. Is it any wonder we made a false start or two?
I must say that it did not help that you were enraged by the attempt on Mycroft's life.
I accept that criticism. My anger may have been as much of a debility as it was an inspiration. But I was not prepared for any solution to the matter which did not include the apprehension of his would-be assassin.
Fortunately, he turned out to be a person we wanted for other reasons. Are you satisfied with the disposition of the committee members?
They will answer to Mycroft. Everybody in this case but he was self-interested. To varying degrees, they were petty, mean, foolish, greedy, ambitious, vicious, or just plain stupid. Some had better reasons than others. Those will serve as mitigation.
Why did you let Lawton off so easily? The man is a self-righteous idiot who has gambled his way into debt and must make an unpleasant marriage to get out of it.
My anger is spent, Watson. Should more lives be ruined by this wretched business? I could produce the chain of evidence that would cook his goose, but royal involvement made it very fragile. He will suffer for his deeds, I guarantee it.
I suspect that you knew the composite was the crux of the case much earlier than you revealed to me.
That is a just and succinct summation, Watson. We should let it rest there.
Amazing, Holmes. Should I live 100 years, I'm sure I shall never meet your equal.
My thanks, Watson. Major Mr. A, I think, would warmly disagree with your generous praise. No doubt we shall have to deal with him in time. There was no real acquiescence in the man. He will find another cat's paw to do his bidding. I believe I could sacrifice my life gladly if such a man could be eliminated. The Bosworth emeralds have gone missing. Disappeared into thin air, apparently. Police are mystified. That's hardly newsworthy. It's their natural state.
The police being mystified.
You'll be asked to put your head to that puzzlement before too long, or I'm no judge of the skills of Scotland Yard. Speaking of which, how was your interview with Lestrade?
He's not happy. But what can he do? His corpses are identified, the crimes which caused them are solved. He's ignorant of the political implications, of course. Speaking of which, I suppose Bismarck's future is not very bright. I shouldn't be surprised to see him dismissed ignominiously in the near future. I don't know if that will be a good or bad thing for the Kaiser. Or for England.
All of Europe is tending toward a tizzy, Holmes. When the old Queen dies, there will be war, I'll wager.
I'm afraid you may be right. Fights among families are often the most bitter. Still, she's good for some years, I imagine. We will keep her confidence, won't we, Doctor?
I've taken measures, Holmes. The privacy of the royal family will be protected. For a century, anyhow. Play that phrase again, will you?
But I think that's it. I think that's the end of the game. Oh, there we go. We got some credits. So, the idea of the game is that, or the lost case file, the lost files, is that these are stories that couldn't be released to the general public until some time passed. So they kind of made both stories like, let's wait to release this information for a long time. So that's the story there. That was a good game. I really enjoyed it. It took me a long time. This was part 8, so this is the 8th day of me playing this. This is the longest, definitely the longest adventure game I played. And it had a good story. So all the committee members were culpable. But the only one who actually stole the formula was Pratt, the clerk. And I don't think we actually ever found out why he did it. I'm pretty sure Mr. Spacemaker was Vincent. From our notes, we had a Mr. Spacemaker was the name of somebody. I'm pretty sure that was Scarrett, and was the person that was being talked about. We don't know why. Some questions still went unanswered. Like, why did it look like he burnt the formula? That's what it looked like. It looked like he burnt the formula to me. But he clearly didn't burn the formula. So it looks like they also kind of set it up for another sequel, but there was never a sequel, a third one of these. 1996 was about when the adventure game craze was kind of like, the adventure game concept was kind of going down the tubes. Oh, and the game just crashed.